afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. All fit and exciting, riveting, amazing. 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Master of your hearts. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on... Yeah, I already Kholodny Ferma, damn it, I always say that. Anyways, a 1 vs 1 here. Setting is 1944. France. The Americans are desperately trying to get off the beaches of Normandy. The Germans are very intent on keeping them there. In the west, it's TwistedTootsy himself, blazing out of there with the 3rd Armored Division for America, Freedom, Democracy, Tactical Support, Recon Support, Mechanized Company with bazookas, Dodge trucks and infantry, versus in the east we got Refero, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany or Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 2nd Panzer Division, also known as the Vienna Division, because the 2nd Panzer Division, at least initially, had its troops drawn from Austria, specifically Vienna, because the German system, initially anyways, basically recruited people from, so say, parts of Germany. So, for example, one division would be drawn from Hamburg, another one here mentioned Vienna, another one could be, Berlin. Very few divisions drew from across Germany. In fact, the one that did, the CoH2 Deutschland, was named because it drew from CoH2 Deutschland, Greater Germany. Refero about here with Mechanized assault. We've got Mechanized assault versus Mechanized company. It's a Mechanized fiesta. And we got assault grenadiers out here as well, out of all the things here from Refero. Versus TwistedTootsy, a man known for going for Dodge trucks. He goes for the one unit that doesn't have any Panzerfausts. This is a bold but interesting move there from Refero. I'm liking it. We got a Dodge truck moving ahead here, though, rifle blasting away furiously and gleefully there, trying to kill any crouch they can. But there we go, got this hooker something at the MP40s firing out the rear armor of the Dodge truck, actually doing some damage. They're going to be joining in the front. Straight for the car point here, though. TwistedTootsy wastes no time as he blazes ahead, blazes paths through Refero's lines, seeking to cause as much damage as possible by a man you need furiously playing on a banjo. I don't know why, but this just sort of seems like the thing where I want banjo music playing. And there we go, Refero using the cheeky improvised sandbag trap to basically stop the Dodge truck and allow his men to catch up with it and put an end to it. And the infernal banjos. My God, Ludwig, I hate those banjos. I don't know why he takes them with him, but I hate them. All of them. I wish death and destruction upon America for those banjos. MD42 on the way there for Refero to back up his men there. First Dodge truck is down, cut down in a storm of fire and sandbags. Up here we got rations sneaking about there, double rations out there as usual for TwistedTootsy, tank traps up. And we got the 2nd Dodge truck out here. TwistedTootsy does not miss a beat to that Dodge truck. Well, beat? Couldn't quite find anything to rhyme with it except beat. Well, I guess meat, but that wouldn't even make sense. Treat? Maybe? Anyways, assault guns are going for the reactions, quickly pushing them away there. So far, not a lot of kills, but they are getting some damage in there, as we can sort of see from the experience. And there you go, Panzerfaust off, assault guns pushing forwards again there. MP40s blazing away there with 9mm parabellum bullets, hammering away there at the Dodge truck. 50 caliber there being added. Assault gunners doing what they can against the reactions out in the open, but they're not getting focused on. We do see veterans one, which makes them overall harder to kill, plus gives them more sprint. I mentioned so far, Refero for many other things has not been using sprint at all, but there you go. Gets a wipe on the reactions, a small wipe here for TwistedTootsy for the 3rd Armored Division. The 2nd Panzer Division lays down a strike that will scar the soul of TwistedTootsy for 2 seconds. Because so far, TwistedTootsy have really not shown to show any concern for his men. I mean, I'm sure he'd feel at home with the Russian army if they had Dodge truck as well. Who knows? In fact, TwistedTootsy could very well be sponsored by the makers of the Dodge vehicles. I don't think it's the Dodge Corporation. It's probably some sort of Swedish car consortium or something that owns them now. Anyways, moving ahead here, Reactions Rifleman. Assault gun is there. Could do with a bit of healing. The men, though, while clearly high-spirited to fight on for Germany and Sieg, their bodies could do with a bit of looking after. Dodge truck there again here, going about. Banjos also calls ready there. That's basically where all the ones you can't see are. They're basically just furiously playing on banjos. S-Mine's happy to cover the car point there from indirect pushes there from TwistedTootsy. Nice work there by Refero. I like some good S-mining. Grenadiers following out, MP42 covering up here, making it a bit harder there for TwistedTootsy to make a move. And there you go, Dodge truck, Panzerfaust again. Could see another dart shot consigned to an early grave at the hands of Refero. He's pushing forward to the right and trying to stall here, but they just lack the manpower to sort of really stop all of these Germans. In this case, though, he might just get lucky. The riflemen do not retreat through the S-mines, because that definitely a white. Dart shot is somehow hoping to desperately escape, but there's just more Germans piling on them. It's like one of those scenes from an action movie where somehow some few guys just heroically sacrifice themselves so the rest can get away. We can do it, Charles. Couldn't we just get out of the car and run? No, we can't. We can't. Oh, keep firing, Charles. Keep firing. Just try not to hit me. There we go. Soldiers pushing up. There you go. He does abandon it and realize, oh wait, we could, and then retreats. But they had to leave the banjos behind. The US Army went through a lot of banjos during the war. One of the highest casualties of the war, possibly banjos. MG4 moving about here for Refero. Lieutenant out here has TwistedTootsy, strikes out. Grenadiers advancing as well. Again, low on health and numbers. They stand ready with MP40s or possibly MP38s, which really weren't that different. It was, for the most part, the difference between the MP38 and the MP40 was basically the MP38 was milled up, meaning they just, took, I think, huge chunks of iron, just drilled out the bits there, whereas for the MP40, it was all stamped out, just sheets of metal, which made it a lot cheaper to make compared to the MP38, which was actually quite expensive due to that. Of course, much higher craftsmanship and all that, but not really practical in a war effort. It's a little fun fact there. We got Ravnus moving in. Refero does attempt to cut off the fuel fully. Did not quite work up. Then he sort of disrupted it a bit there. Good work. In the far south, you got Grenadiers there contemplating the southern point there, what it means in the greater war effort. TwistedTootsy anti-aircraft outflank almost done. Refero's 2-2. The lighter Panzer Spear went almost done here for the 2nd Panzer Division. Lieutenant pushing back the Pioneers there. We could maybe at some point in the near future consider medic bunker. Grenadiers versus the vehicle crew. We got their grease guns firing away there, trying to silence any Germans, but in this case the K9TK turns out to be a better silencer in a sense. Grenadiers, they're close to being out with Lieutenant, but right here Refero clearly is favoured by Lady Fortuna. Allows the Grenadiers to pass safely back to his base, so he doesn't have to fully replace the squad. That's the half-tech, taking heavy fire from the double 50 calibers and the 30 with the anti-aircraft gun as well. Close to wipe here, but once more, Refero really... Oh, never mind. In this case, Lady Fortuna could not help him any further, no matter how much she likes him. And there you go, to the going straight for the half-tech, goes down right here. Huge losses for Refero in a matter of moments. He might have gotten a bit overconfident here, versus TwistedTootsy felt like he had the upper hand, and then he blew it. As the half-track took out the 2-2 and the Grenadiers got was lost on top of that. That's quite a bit of manpower, in fact. That's 480 manpower plus for the fuel. Gone in the blink of an eye. Like all of those banjos. Assault Grenadiers heading out here. Medic bunker done there as well for Refero for the 2nd Panzer Division. MG4 trying to watch them, pushing back the rifle. You got Lieutenant moving down here as well. Assault Grenadiers moving forwards, close to Veteran 2. TwistedTootsy backing up with those 50 calibers, those Mardusas. So moving up, sweeping up Lieutenant there. The threat of the MP40s is sufficient enough there for TwistedTootsy to get the hell out there. That or possibly all the grenades they're lugging about there. Back here, healing enforcement done. Like to make a nice company, of course, done there. He could go some Panzer Grenadiers, a bit more longer range firepower could be an idea. Theoretically, he could go for more Assault Grenadiers, though most people, if they ever go, only go for one. In the far north, Pioneers sweeping out here. Telemines done there by for Refero. Good work there. And the assault are spotted. We got the dot regular half-tech out here. The M3 for TwistedTootsy was primarily used by the Americans since it had better armor quality, meaning they didn't hand it out to the Allies. Not even the British. They had to make do with the M5, which had weaker armor. It's a little fun fact there. After we're blasting through all the S-mines, almost getting taken out there, but sadly not quite enough to knock it out, and sadly Refero lacked other means to finish off the half-track. Still kind of risky there for TwistedTootsy just a bit. Meanwhile, though, Refero striking northwards here, basically ignoring the south for now. Not a bad idea. I mean, you can either try and engage head-on, but if you feel like that's not worth it, you can just hit elsewhere and that way force them to attack into you. To an extent, that's kind of where the Germans sort of slightly do a bit better in some ways, at least. and in particular since the southern defense anyways wasn't there, him forcing to counterattack into the American attack could have been quite painful there for Refero, quite expensive, so instead just diverting attention, the Imperial possibly setting up better defense in the north might work out better. Rushing half-track northwards, other one with the assault units ready, flamethrower not yet there though for TwistedTootsy and the 3rd Armoured. They got the soldiers spreading forwards, very good work there, getting close to the rifleman. Good use of spread, I definitely think that is critical to good usage of the assault grenadiers. And there you go, grenade assault. Schnell Ludwig, the Granaten! And there you go, gotta wipe. Those Americans never knew what came to them. Granaten, what does that mean? It means grenade, Sarge. Oh, might see a wipe here on the Grenadiers, which would definitely nullify the wipe he got with the assault. In fact, right now, Refero's barely down to anything. One assault Grenadier squad, one Grenadier Pioneer MD-40 in the pack 4. TwistedTootsy, though, is not doing amazingly well, but he's got more infantry, plus he's got a sizable vehicle pool here. I mean, 2 half-tracks, plus, you know, infantry and all that there. He's definitely pretty rough there for Refero. We could see another Grenadier squad go down. Oh, my God. I don't want to die like this, not to banjo music. Ah, my God. The banjos shall follow me into hell. Dot, half to the rushing away. Stepping on it, but not quite fast enough. It goes down, and the assault units only make it out of this slightly. Got the 5th Cavalry coming here. A pretty rough situation for Refero. I mean, he's barely onto anything. In this case, the Telemine works out somewhat beautifully, taking out their TwistedTootsy's anti-aircraft half-track. 50 Cavalry setting out. They got the Stoogie setting out there for Refero as well. The assault grenadiers good to go. And there we go, nice flank here. Possibly, though, not anticipating the machine, but either way. Now I can follow up with the Stug to attack from the other side. And there you go, high explosive round flying through. Almost got them, but in this case, the wreckage of the Panther will sought to hit there from the Stug E, which likely in Normandy would have been supplied by the 101st Panzerausbildungsabteilung. There was also another element to the name, but basic training and replacement battalion. Basically 2 of those in Germany. One was stationed right close there, and I think the other one was, I think, closer to the British sector or somewhere down in Brittany. But our way had a mix of Stug, some older Panzer IIIs, and French tanks like the Reinhart 35 and the Hotchkiss 35. Fun fact. Very fun fact. They were pretty much pressed into service there against the Americans. They primarily served against the paratroopers there initially, that of course would have likely been absorbed, whatever survived, into a nearby Panzer division or whatever. Actually, there were also some Char B tanks. Some of them, I believe, might have been converted into flamethrower tanks as well. But right now, Refero has to rebuild his forces. He has suffered some rather startling high losses. TwistedTootsy connecting to another half day there. Not yet taking up for armor. That could be a small relief for Refero, since if he just get hit by a tank, he might be in for a rough time. The assault gun is the honestly run straight into a 50 caliber machine gun. That is definitely as rough as it gets. Stuggy bombarding, and there we go. Wipes the machine gun. Good work there by Refero. Sturmgeschütz. Pioneer there on watch. In the south here, 50 caliber slightly moving about as well. Lieutenant going in. Stuggy shoots, lands a slightly decent hit. Stuggy shoots. Lieutenant getting blasted. Grenadiers moving up as well. And the far south there, we got the MD-42 that pushing back the 50 caliber. Incendiary armor piercing rounds being added there for Refero. Sehr gut. Back here, assault gun is reinforcing, closing in a halfway to veteran 3. Also kinda good. As for TwistedTootsy, he's done himself some losses, but he still, I think, got a decent force. But he needs to strike back hard here at Refero once more. He needs to inflict some heavier casualties. Assault gun is there, good to go. Of course, just need the order to move out. So there you go, truck good to go, half track good to go, not truck but half track. I don't see some actually accidentally writing as a half truck, but it's a half track, not half truck. Which refers to the fact that it is half tracked. Reason why it was half tracked basically meant it still had the same abilities of a tracked vehicle, but due to having front wheels, could be driven by someone who didn't need training for it. You just need to be able to drive a truck. You could drive a half track, which is basically why both the Americans and the Germans make use of those for infantry transport. Fun fact. Darts then moving ahead. Oh, not darts, half track. Zipping forwards. Noting, by the way, he seems to be crewing it with a rifle squad of all things. Which is pretty bold. I mean, loses the half-track, that's a rifle squad gone. My suspicion is because he actually wants to be able to use step on it, which is, of course, crucial to the way TwistedTootsy operates the half-track. But, I mean, it's pretty risky what he's playing at there. It's pretty risky. Bazooka team 50 cover the Stuki. Refero there might have pushed his light a bit too far, and misses the Stuki, doesn't quite finish it off there. Back here, healing enforcement going on there for Refero. Stuki falling back, pack 40 providing covering fire of the most vital kind. Aviation's good to go in the south. You got this soldiers laying down lots of mines. Good work there by TwistedTootsy. And no take up yet here for Refero. Is he going to try and stall for the Tiger tank? I mean, that's going to be a bit risky in some ways. Of course, in other ways, could work out depending on the situation. He could be forced into it. More mines here. He's laying down a lot of mines. In this case, he's laying one right around the corners. There's a high potential to use to Refero sneak, run straight into it. Grenade assault here. Quickly dodged. Let's just steal hand grenade to explode a bit here and there. Bazooka bus fully primed. Hey, where's the buzz going? Kraut Town. Population kaboom. What? What's this guy smoking? I'm smoking petroleum jelly of a banjo. Oh god. MD42 standing back here. Fixing up the Stugi. 2-2 on the way again for Refero. An interesting choice here. Possibly for spotting, reconnaissance, just, flank coverage purposes. So not entirely sure what Refero's thinking with a 2-2 at the 60-minute mark. I imagine that's going to be one of history's greatest mysteries. Why did Refero go for 2-2 there? Going to exchange some mine. We got more mines here from TwistedTootsy. He's a mad miner. And he's mad about mines. Oh, they almost got a wipe there. The assault engineer's not good there for TwistedTootsy. In fact, you'd call that quite bad. Up north there, half-track there's moving a background territory. It seems like TwistedTootsy just looking for the right target, just swarm and just take out with the bazookas. Refero's two swinging southwards. Gunner sitting in another mine, and in the center machine gunner desperately holding the center victory point for Das Vaterland. Victory points wise, TwistedTootsy leading over Refero here for the time being. Got the Stugi moving through the center, 9 kills. Got the assault grenadiers by the way, also with 9 kills so far. Stugi shoots, misses, Pioneer charging forward. Bazooka fire there takes the Stugi down to half health in the blink of an eye. Pack 4 being moved forwards, and the south point getting secured. TwistedTootsy finally taking up. Got a bit of manpower just bad. Could consider maybe a fuel cache. Occasionally TwistedTootsy does build fuel caches, though he does tend to build them sooner, so might be too late here, at least for TwistedTootsy's likings to go for one. Gonna use reinforcing. Pack 40 moving out. MD42 carrying from the church now. We got the M3 after they're just milling away. Sneaking in a small team here to the south. We got the soldiers backed up by the 50 caliber. We've got the 2-2 watching over here. Ready to report anything to high command and then shoot it. Possibly not in that order. But there you go. Seems like TwistedTootsy answers something. There you go. Rushes down again. Just look how fast that step on it is. Took him from one end of the map to the other one in a matter of seconds. And took out the 2-2. A big loss there for Refero. Well, not big loss. It was a 2-2. It's still a weird one he went for there. He is closing in the Tiger and he's not taking up. So it very much seems like Refero, at least for now, is bound to the path of the Tiger tank. There we go. Bazooka bus once more strikes again. Veteran T2 and again noting it's still filled with riflemen. Again, if he loses this, that's a rifle squad gone. Almost got the pack 40 here. I'm not entirely sure what he's going to do with it. And there you go. Got a Panzerfaust off. He's going to have to pop out those riflemen now. Oh shit. Get them out. TwistedTootsy. And destroy the bus with the bazookas. Got the pack 40 rifle grenade off. Ooh, dodged. Yeah, he's going to find into tank rifle grenade tonight to the Germans. There we go. I mean, it'd be a pretty big issue for TwistedTootsy if Refero got his hands on the half-track. That gave Refero so much mobility on the front line, but also just durability. Like, he just reinforces stuff on the front line, making much out for TwistedTooty's shock tanks. He's also floating an absurd amount of manpower there. He really should go for some infantry and support weapons. Caches again would be great as well for TwistedTootsy. I definitely feel like, though, 1,000 manpower here, it might be just TwistedTootsy managing too much on the front line and forgetting about the rear lines. But there you go. 50 caliber, Lieutenant on the way there. Good choice. I'll cancel the 50 caliber for Lieutenant. Overall, not a bad choice there. Lieutenant is a really good infantry squad, obviously. Refero now going for a sniper. Curious timing, particularly since he is very close to the Tiger tank. There you go, cancels it as he realizes, hang on, I'm close to the Tiger. Why do I need a sharpshooter for this when I can get a Tiger? That one's bigger. Retreat the 5th Cav, Lieutenant good to go here for Refero. TwistedTootsy. I mean, a 76mm Sherman or some Jackson's going to be great here. He could go for the regular Sherman, but he should be anticipating a Tiger tank coming his direction. So there you go. Refero managed to summon support here from the Sphere Panzerabteilung nearby and calls forth the Tiger. Die Tiger. Named by Dr. Ferdinand Porsche, despite his version of the Tiger tank never really making in, the name stuck. That was apparently the sort of reason they then began naming all the other tank stuff, so little fun fact there. Grabbing point D. Tiger tank advancing. Shoot. Track this slightly blasted apart. Further slight damage. There we got the Major flanking in there, firing at his pistol. If Tom Hanks can do it, so can I. That was aircraft, Major. Aircraft. Pulling it through there in the church, though. Tiger tank needs to move carefully. All the bazookas could prove to be unhealthy for it. And there you go. Howitzer shells raining down upon the church. Survives a few hits. Oh, machine gun barely makes it out of there. Ludwig and Dietrich could not make it out in time and got entombed within the church. Possibly just impaled. Possibly both. And he goes for the Sherman, regular one, he sticks to it. I mean, it can help for those other things, but it's not going to have an amazingly easy time head on with the Tiger tank there with its 80mm gun and its 100mm of armor. TwistedTootsy following up with another 50 caliber here to focus on Refero's infantrymen. Right now, TwistedTootsy once more on the back foot. I mean, this map has seen some aggressive back and forth here between these two players. Either player sort of been close. It is being completely blown out of the fight a couple of times, we think, by now, and I'd not be surprised if it's going to happen a few more times. Soldiers are by with 15 kills, not bad at all. 16 kills, pretty solid. 17 kills, they just keep racking them up. 18 kills. 50 caliber there being added to the Sherman, very good, very good. Tiger tank, whoa. What the hell just went flying there? Was that an American? They just sort of spontaneously levitated across the map? What? Pack 40 there, on the way to sort of help deal with the armor. Probably because he can't go for any additional armor because again went straight for the Tiger tank, so has to pick something else to back up the Tiger tank, in part because then the armored flanks of Jackson's, but also just, you know, potential bazooka buses from TwistedTootsy. He does love those bazooka buses. Gets the machine gun wipe. He can't recruit it, but he lost the veterans, and that's going to actually hurt their bit, since that means it can't suppress as efficiently, and of course puts it further away from Regimentary 3, which is really good. There's a good team there moving in pretty recklessly, and the Tiger tank quickly blows a few apart there. Back here healing and forcing. Sniper on the way, and the south there we got a demo charge on the corner. Sneaky setup there by TwistedTootsy. It's not going to be visible then. Of course, in most cases, you're just going to run right around the corner, in which case you can then detonate as long as you've got someone paying attention to it. So, very sneaky play there by TwistedTootsy. Very sneaky play. I mean, the thing is, you just need to keep someone nearby to actually pay attention to it. Otherwise, of course, you're never going to know until it's, you know, too late. Tiger tank hot pursuit of the Sherman here. TwistedTootsy's tank crew, they're desperately trying to escape the wrath of the Tiger. Sniper out here for Refero. Back here, troops reinforcing. Got the 50 caliber covering up there. You still got a bit of manpower floating, and I do think TwistedTootsy would benefit from a few fuel caches. Got this assault grenade spreading forward, so then quickly move ahead, and again, thanks to the veteran seat, it's not a huge cooldown anyways. They go straight into the Major, and the Major gets a bit of a shock. Not a major shock, though. Target tank on the hand would represent that. Got the bazooka team swinging in there, 50 caliber coming up as well here. Oh dear goodness, going to change the demo charge, and kaboom! Full wipe there on Refero. Grenadiers obliterated and scattered in all directions. I mean, thankfully here Refero did not have his men more bunched up than he did. I mean, had those two squads been doing this, would he just somehow managed to not realise that it could have been such a huge loss there for him, and then getting Grenadier squad like that is just going to be sizable, just psychologically as well. Just no one likes having the Grenadiers obliterated. So of course this might cause Refero to get a bit more paranoid, like he doesn't want to lose any more Grenadiers like that here to TwistedTootsy. TwistedTootsy's committing to a third 50 caliber machine gun at this stage. I'll tell you how I feel about that. I mean, the 50 calibers are surprisingly nimble and mobile for a machine gun, a heavy machine gun that weighs around 50 kilos, but I'm not so sure these would be fully replacing anything like that. More mines going off there. Again, TwistedTootsy's mines are paying off brilliantly. You can soon go for another Sherman. Again, could commit to a Jackson tank destroyer here. Sherman straight ahead. 7 kills. You need to be mindful of that Tiger tank. Oh, almost got the sniper with the Sherman. That would have been pretty harsh loss there for Refero. Tiger tank in hot pursuit. Grab the southern victory point here. Victory point's wide. Refero's not got the lead over TwistedTootsy. Rifling in front of the 50 Tiger tank, getting blasted. Fixing out the Sherman. Send close to another one. Could have been a bit closer, possibly with a fuel cache out sooner. And with Refero almost half an hour into the game, goes for a mortar to provide artillery support. We'll have to use it for smoke as well, but it could make it harder for TwistedTootsy to use all his machine guns. In fact, that could very well be the idea there for Refero to just try and counter all of these 50 calibers with at least a little bit of artillery. In this case, getting on strange to the Sherman, got bazooka team front. Up pack 40 there, getting overwhelmed. Sherman backing up very rapidly. Adding the bulldozer blades, of course, for increased durability. Making harder there for Refero to just quickly take it out. Always a good upgrade for Sherman. He's going for another regular Sherman. No 76mm Shermans, which you kind of figured to go for with the Tiger tank out at least, but seems like TwistedTootsy is more of an M4A3 man. Which of course you can read more about in TwistedTootsy's latest book, The M4A3, and why I like it so much. Sherman almost down there for TwistedTootsy.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
So that's going to be 2 Sherman tanks, 50 caliber being added as well. Bulldozer blades. Well, apparently cancelled, then waiting for them again. That's probably because he popped it out, which then cancels the upgrade. Oh! Hits the mine! He wants the mortar, of course, but he hits a mine there. Good mining there by Refero, as always. Tiller mines, of course, are quite crucial. Oh, he's trying to attack ground. He's probably trying to hope to catch the Sherman, and of course, or more specifically, catch the crew so he could steal the Sherman. There you go. Nice smoke screen there, by the way. Sets up an anticipation where it's going to move. And allows a smooth escape of the Sherman tank. Of course, it cancels the bulldozer blade again, but still, nice save there by TwistedTootsy. Very nice save. Grenadiers bringing in for the center victory point back here. We got mortar reinforcing and healing. Refero's got the tech as a Pomoko now, could be quite helpful. A couple of Stoogs or something like that backing up the Tiger tank could be quite a problem here for TwistedTootsy for the 3rd Armoured. So let's move forward there with their 19 kills, 23 straight to 50 caliber machine gun. Doesn't matter how much veteran you are, you're not going to have a fun time against that. And there you go, Grenadier. So, oh! Almost gets the 50 caliber there with the Grenadier. So that's actually pretty good there for Refero. Would have been better, of course, if the wipe had been successful. And there you go, Grenadiers now being backed up by the Tiger tank. A complete rout here for TwistedTootsy. Another lieutenant gets obliterated here by the Tiger tank. His legs blown out from under him. along with the legs, I guess, just removed entirely. And he's actually going straight for tier 4. Bold move here by Refero, I think. But I mean, the Tiger Tank backed up by either Panther or Sturmpanzer 4 could be quite a problem there for TwistedTootsy, so I can understand it, but I think in this situation probably just pull for some medium armor fast like a Panther 4, some Stugs would probably be just more favourable. Tiger Tank Lions Veterans 1 here against TwistedTootsy Sherman, which is itself very close to Veteran 2. And in the base we got another raid here by TwistedTootsy. Very clever move there. Base raids can be quite effectively done and certainly something like to see, certainly rare to see, but again some higher skilled players can execute some good base raids. This is the second one by the way, and this time he doesn't lose a vehicle like say the half track. Though he didn't quite get enough damage, and it still puts pressure on Refero and forces him to, you know, consider falling back towards the base, meaning the front line becomes weaker. So it's sort of a very good, shall we say, nerve strike there from TwistedTootsy. Tiger Tank there setting out. And he goes for it again. In this case, he needs to be a bit more careful. I mean, this is sort of situation will increase, and of course, Refero will have seen through TwistedTootsy's move there. If you do it too often, he's going to be prepared. In this case, that seems to have happened. The Sherman there got Panzerfausted. He is smoking there on the pack fodder, which gives him more chance to get out of there, but still pretty risky. And in this case, the Refero has been minded. Then now you can see the rear echelons bring in there. Ooh, Sherman flanking the Tiger Tank. Veteran T2. Damaged engine here. Tiger Tank almost. Oh, it's half health. Other Sherman went down. Didn't get out in time there. But again, the danger of sort of sending your Sherman like that too often, and in this case, too quickly after the first strike. Oh dear, he might get the Tiger Tank with the Sherman. That's going to be quite a blow there to Refero. I mean, you can see that the Tiger Tank turret struggles to keep up with the Sherman. Speed up. Sherman down. Close one here for TwistedTootsy. Lost both Shermans. Didn't get the Tiger Tank either. That is not a good trade-off there for TwistedTootsy. Yeah, keep in mind, if you keep doing this too often, again too quickly, your opponent's just going to again set up and prepare for it. So TwistedTootsy, I think they got a bit too eager. Refero was prepared and punished him that second time around to push him with that Sherman. But again, from time to time, you know, with sufficient, you know, intervals between the raids, you can actually do it pretty successfully. And there you go, half track out here for TwistedTootsy for the bazookas. Might just try and catch the Tiger Tank and knock it out. Could very well be what TwistedTootsy is planning here. Almost ready to down the Tiger. Regular Sherman following up in the dart shot. We're setting out here fast. And again, using a rifle squad. Interesting how he values his assault units more than the rifle squad. Although again, I think in part of it, again, he just wants to step on it. Could theoretically use the major instead. But there you go. Straight in base raid. Oh dear. Need to get out the rifleman, Twisted. Rifleman. Ah! Oh, veteran defeat rifle squad lost there. I mean, obviously getting the Tiger Tank is going to be pretty nice, but that's still a veteran defeat rifle squad. TwistedTootsy just sacrificed there on the altar of democracy. And he lost the veteran squad for the driving bazooka here for for Refero to nab. So the question, of course, is was this worth it? Because he actually was a bit ahead in terms of popular. He's kind of still a bit there, but that was a lot of losses he suffered there. Half track, rifle squad, and the rear echelons. That's a lot of veterans he lost, in fact. So we'll have to see what TwistedTootsy does after this. He'll be replacing any of his infantry compared to Refero's man to keep his infantry alive. 26 kills on those assault gunners. They've been doing surprisingly good work here for TwistedTootsy. Mine again goes off. I mean, these mines are just great for Refero, and they're just doing great work then, just stalling TwistedTootsy's armored attacks. Refero there, who might have been planning, you know, for some actual tech stuff there, just goes for another Tiger since he's been sailing off there. He might be able to, you know, finish off the Sherman unless TwistedTootsy can somehow gain enough distance, or at least, you know, get it quickly critical repair. The problem is, of course, that Refero's Tiger Tank is swiftly advancing. But yeah, Refero does not care. He wants that Sherman dead.
Rear echelon troops on the front line.
Bazooka fire there going for the Tiger tank. I'm guessing the bazooka fire there pretty much just prevented him. Oh, convinced we should not be going straight here for the Sherman because you could risk not getting disabled and then just taken out with bazookas or Sherman. Up north there we got the assault units pushed back with the grenadiers here. Refero making a strong push there. As to the south we got the Tiger. They're basically dealing with TwistedTootsy's raiders. Still no heavy pentacle here for Refero.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
As for TwistedTootsy, hard to say what he's playing for next. We got another lieutenant. Good. But I do think you should opt for the 76mm Sherman from Jackson to help versus the Tiger tank a bit more. I mean, the regular Sherman is actually a pretty solid choice, can do a lot of damage, but that's the Tiger. Part of me does feel like you should consider something with a bit more oomph in terms of armor penetration. Tiger tank has definitely got plenty of that oomph as it just shatters those assault engineers. Tiger's heading out here in pursuit of the 50 caliber crew. We've got the Russians moving up with the bazookas with their freedom tubes. Ready to plug a few into the Tiger tank there. If the Tiger tank keeps missing it is, and there you go, both rockets basically failed to penetrate the Tiger tank's frontal armor. Depending on the type of bazooka, they had somewhere between 60 to 80mm of armor penetration. Both of which would have started there. I think there was some with 100mm, but those were very late into the war, to be honest. And I think that was the Super Bazooka, though the Super Bazooka might have had better penetration, though that would have been, I think, post-war, and mostly saw usage in Korea and other places that weren't, you know, World War II. More regular Shermans for TwistedTootsy. There seems to be reluctant for the 76mm Sherman again. He just seems to be an M4A3 fan. Might have a small model, or even a collection of M4A3 models, sort of just stable across his room. He just sort of looks at whenever he's having a rough time. He just looks at those and goes, "Yes, I know what I'm fighting for. I know what I'm fighting for." Soldiers looking blasted with a Sherman, down to just 3 men, 27 kills though. I am impressed. I mean, assault grenadiers can be useful, but it's just in so many cases they end up not being too useful. But Refero is definitely, I think, highlighting the strength of the assault grenadier, which is impressive. Second Sherman all stunned, 50 cover there getting blasted by the Tiger, but Tiger tank is exposed to the Sherman. Of course, we got the Pioneers with a bazooka themselves. Artillery called in here, probably to silence the 50 caliber. Here we go, light infantry should strike. Bazooka team's moving up, using it wiped somewhere. Looks like an assault unit squad that bit the dust in service of America. Bazooka rockets flying at the Tiger tank, bouncing off the frontal armor, or just failing to penetrate. I don't know if bazooka rockets bounce as much, just, you know, plonk out and, you know, don't do anything, or more explode and just fail to do anything more, would be like it. There's the close to dead. Ooh, coming this almost like by the Tiger tank. Getting the bulldozers up this time. We'll have to see if he actually gets them done. Refero there, of course, got several Pioneer squads to assist with repairs. Very good. Another machine gun there for Refero. Still no heavy panzer calling this to moves for bigger armor. More 50 covers there being added to the Shermans. And we got these soldiers moving in. Not even fully reinforced here. Refero just seems, you know, perhaps a bit pressured here by TwistedTootsy. Victory points whilst they're close to each other again. Tiger tank more or less mobilized. Not fully reinforced, but obviously Refero does not feel like he has the time to sit about and wait too long. There's only so much schnapps he can eat or drink. Not eat. Tiger shoots at the re-echelons, misses. Up north we got the Sherman moving in here. And we got the mortar crew there in a bit of hot water, getting in fact wiped. Bit of a loss there for Refero for the German army. Die Deutsche Wehrmacht, and there you go. Assaulting in the south, but not really equipped for taking on the Tiger tank. You can clear out the supporting units around the Tiger tank, but if they can't deal with the Tiger tank, they're not going to get very far. Because that Tiger tank can deliver some serious punches. Still Refero finding himself a bit on the defensive against TwistedTootsy once more. Who's going for Panzer Grenadier? Possibly find infantry, or he could be planning to use them for the Panzerschrecks. We'll see what ends up here with Refero. Both options, though, do have merit here for Refero. Do have merit. Tiger tank gaining mentions 1 total kills. Got Sherman from the north. Here we go. Great hit there on the Tiger tank. Oh! I think he might misclick there. Happens, and Refero steals the Shermans. He steals it. Bazooka team's trying to get the Sherman, but somehow he made a misclick. Crew popped out. I hate that when it happens myself. And he steals away with TwistedTootsy Sherman. Cue the banjo music. As the other Sherman now goes in hot pursuit here of the Sherman to ensure that Germany does not make use of it. Both Shermans bouncing off each other's armor, partly because Refero's Sherman is firing high explosive rounds. There you go. Pop goes the weasel. Sherman that needs to get out of there before it gets stuck here, and because it would not be good if he traded off one Sherman for the other one. That would just be horrid for TwistedTootsy. It's already bad. He's lost one like that. More than anything. And he's quickly holding a hold fire there. I imagine it's to avoid, apparently not, giving away its position for any tank weapons. There we go. We got the Panzerschrecks up here for Refero. The Raketen Panzerbüchse. And TwistedTootsy finally seems to, betray his love for the M43 and go for the 76mm Sherman. That is the M43 76. Oh dear, he was trying to repair here something. I'm not entirely sure what's happening, but I think what he's doing is trying to preserve the crew. Doesn't quite work out. Crew and tank goes down. But I like the idea. I mean, if you use preserve the crew, use the half tank, you just use spread the veterans to something else. 76mm Sherman, they're almost done there for TwistedTootsy. 50 caliber coming up, but there's the Tiger tank. I mean, might as well be a BB gun. It's firing at the Tiger tank. We've got the bazooka team going for the Tiger tank, though. Several rockets hit the ground instead, but most do connect with the Tiger tank side armor and push it down there closer to half health. More bazooka fire there. Tiger tank, in fact, hitting half health. Grenadiers supplying countering fire, allowing the Tiger tank to safely retreat to less bazooka filled position. Machine gun coming against the lieutenant here in the center. In the south, we got the 50 gun going here, and we got the half track out as well here. Inch enough is not pop the veteran crew into the Sherman here. The 76mm Sherman, there you go, going forward, straight ahead. Pack 40 is expecting an attack from somewhere else. The sheer number of paths that TwistedTootsy is chosen to attack Refero with has made it increasingly difficult for Refero just to point the Pack 40 in one direction and just be sure to hit something. And that's also the power of just being able to multi-attack from several sides. It makes it much harder for your opponent to predict your movements. And that means your other attacks have a better potential of actually doing some damage. There you go, doubles. Rockets down the Sherman, pushing a damage engine there. Almost got the MG42, which is pinned down. And there we go, quick little wipe. You can use the veteran crew, I think, to quickly conduct emergency repairs on the Sherman, allowing you to get away there before Refero hunts it down. You might also try and grab the MG42, then turn against Refero. Up north, though, 50 caliber being assaulted. Big assault here, but in the south here, the engagement continues. The Punch Jaegers are held back here. MG42 stolen here by TwistedTootsy assault units, and the 50 caliber repulses Refero's infantry. But he's pushing up in the north as well. They're cutting off territory there expertly. Well played there by Refero, and he could grab the 50 caliber in compensation there. Manning it with assault grenadiers. Tiger tank with transfer, 27 kills, closing in on veteran G2. Still no heavy panzer co-op here though for Refero. Oh, there we go. Just to say that, he begins building it. TwistedTootsy has not been laying down a lot of mines lately. He was great out of them earlier, but by now it seems to be less of a concern here for TwistedTootsy, just something he's not quite thinking about. Tiger tank pushing back the media there. We got the soldiers moving here for the southern victory point. We got a 50 caliber all the way down south, but Noting that none of these can actually deal with the Tiger tank, which is so far rampaging through the south. Like a bull for a china shop. Sherman, though, is very close to Veteran 2. Bazooka bus here going for the Tiger tank. Most shots either failing to hit or going off, and there it just makes a quick U-turn and gets away there. Though a few of the members apparently hadn't tightened the seatbelts and got blown up by the Tiger tank there, which is actually now Veteran 2. That's definitely a bit dangerous there for TwistedTootsy. More accurate, more range is definitely bad news for any of TwistedTootsy's infantry and vehicles. Look at how they run, Ludwig. Yeah, they cowards. Well, anyone would be in the face of a Tiger tank. Well, oh no, they're more cowardly than the rest. Just look at them.
Sherman ready to go.
Well, he's now at full pop cap, more or less. It's the full pop cap where he can't actually get any armor. So Panther Sturmpanzer is so far off the table unless something changes.
Heavy machine gun team ready.
And most likely, if he loses the Tiger, he's just going to call in another one rather than trying to go for a Panther Sturmpanzer. Panzerjäger is being rudely pursued here by the Sherman crew, being cut to ribbons, left to die horridly.
Tactical point being captured.
Panzerjäger's there almost being taken out. Here in the centre, we got a big push here from TwistedTootsy, men advancing into the line of fire of the Tiger tank. 33 kills. Payload machine finally being added here to the Tiger. And we got another base right here from TwistedTootsy again this time around. It's been some time since the last one, so Refero just isn't prepared.
Units are being hung out to dry.
At least bringing it straight to the MB42 carrying the 50 cal, but ultimately the presence of the Tiger, again, Veteran 2 does force the 50 cal to get out of there before it gets snuffed out like a candle in a storm. A German storm.
Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
Whoa, Refero here getting pretty bold, going in straight to the base here of TwistedTootsy. Hoping to maybe conduct some wiping here. Misses the ambulance, there we go, we got the bazooka bus going up here in the retreat path of the Tiger tank. But Refero did not anticipate that he's trying to get up, but the turret rotation of the Tiger tank is very slow. Can't quite catch up to the bazooka bus. We got the Sherman in as well here. Definitely not good situation for Refero. He might have got no confident. A moment of overconfidence spawns a lifetime of blown up Tigers. And there we go. The Tiger is lost. A sizable loss there for Refero. His Veteran 2 Tiger, which was others doing so great, they just got blitzed into the base there of TwistedTootsy and then destroyed. That is a big win there for TwistedTootsy. I mean, that is a Veteran 2 Tiger gone from the field. Even if he goes for another one, it's not going to be Veteran 2, and of course it's still going to be a problem, but not as big a problem as a Veteran 2 Tiger tank, which could easily become a Veteran 3 Tiger tank, which would have been a nightmare for TwistedTootsy. There you go, Darchuk running about here. I imagine TwistedTootsy with the Tiger tank out of the way is feeling a bit more confident, though I imagine he's also expecting another one inbound anytime soon.
Line just got cut off.
Got the bazooka teams going for the MB42 trying to clear it up. We got the grenadiers moving from north to attack the 50 cover there. Finding in the centre, artillery raining on the machine guns here. How to shells landing and taking out the machine crews. In fact, looks like he's managed to steal two 50 covers there from Refero, and looks like another might got wiped out there, but it's bad news. Got the Sherman moving in here. Veteran 2, 17 kills. Tiger tank moving in here. Bazooka teams firing rockets, some penetrating, and there you go. Racing squad obliterated by the Tiger. No survivors of that squad. Grenadiers being annihilated in return though. Quite lost there for Refero. He's also lost his Panzerjägers at some point. Bazooka bus there. Driving in. I'm not entirely sure what he's trying to do there, but might have been hoping to just do something. Or could have been a misclick, I guess. Not impossible. North side has been lost here to Refero. His men just moving through. Assault himself by 28 kills, being healed and hopefully reinforced soon. We'll hope to see he goes for any more armor soon. As for TwistedTootsy, more Shermans of the 76 kind would probably be the best choice here versus Refero. Pioneers close being obliterated here by the Sherman tank. Targeting on the route here, adding the Pinlock machine gun. Back here reinforcing, 50 cal being added, and there you go, adding the bazooka teams to the half track
The enemy is overrunning one
from
of
the
our
northern point, and he might even try and just grab the fuel pump with the Sherman while repairing it.
armor here.
Yup. Bazooka buzz moving in there, dodging a shot there from target tank. There he goes, shoots. Most rockets bounce off. He got the Pack 40 coming in there. He looks like he will be able to escape here though with the bazooka bus. Refero could soon go for a Panther or Sturmpanzer. Both could be good for different reasons.
All done over here.
And TwistedTootsy now has 4 machine guns. 3 50 calibers and 1 MG42. Refero's got 1 50 caliber, 1 MG42. So that's a total of 4 50 calibers and 2 MG42s this battle. That's a lot of machine guns.
Boys, you ready to roll out?
Well, you could go for the 76, you could go for the Jackson. Chalman's up here for Refero. Again, he's expecting more antics there from TwistedTootsy. And there you go, bazooka buzz getting caught. Oh dear, he's going to be, might get flanked here by it. No additional support, and there you go, bazooka buzz just falls back as it realises it can't quite finish it off there. Probably the best move there by TwistedTootsy. Sherman flanking him from the north here. A bold move here by TwistedTootsy, looking to cause havoc. An untold carnage. Another 76 from Sherman away and hits a mine. He hits a mine. Right in front of the Pack 40. Refero's mining is just paying off the big dividends as he gets a Sherman there. I mean, really, telemines can be so effective as they are marked, if just sort of laid down correctly. So quite a loss there for TwistedTootsy. He's down to just 1 Sherman again, and that one just arrived a few seconds ago. Therefore, we'll have to see if he goes for any additional armor though. It would be nice.
We're losing a capture point.
In addition, if Refero were to, I think, go for even a Panther Sturmpanzer, well, he might have a good chance of then basically just straight up winning the game, because TwistedTootsy is struggling to build up a large armor force, so we can just get 2 tanks out. That could be very closely fired out here. Trying to get away here. Mines though being spotted here by the team inside the half track, since any unit inside a building or a vehicle can sweep for mines, and apparently units inside a building can actually disarm mines that are actually close to the building in question. That is pretty cheeky, by the way. Targets and they're almost taken out. In this case though, Refero was able to save it to avoid total annihilation at the hands of TwistedTootsy, the most twisted of all the Tootsies.
Waiting orders. A capture point is under attack.
50 kill this time. The soldiers are trying to push here for the center victory point. We got
Friendly's down to 100
29
points.
kills.
Again, allies at 100 points.
100 points left. Tillerman spotted and cleared. Note the soldiers can also clear out the mines. You don't actually need a mine sweeper as such for a unit if they can't clear mines. They just need to be able to see it, meaning other units can actually spot the mine for them and they can clear it out. It's another little fun fact there. After they're getting away, they're blitzing through. Now trying just to think to get out of there. And seems to actually work out, in part just as the sheer velocity gains from step on it.
Sherman ready to go.
There we go, Panther out here for Refero, the Panzerkampfwagen 5 to back up the Panzerkampfwagen 6.
A capture point is being overrun.
Note the King Tiger was also designated as the Panzerkampfwagen 6, but that was 6B. Or B. Little fun fact there.
Boys are done here. Ready. Send orders.
Panther halfway down, time to up the shooting at the lieutenant, absolutely missing. And there you go, bazooka bus goes for the kill here, but instead doesn't quite manage as much as hoped for. 81 versus 198. Soldiers are being pushed back by the half track, 6 kills. And the Panther's almost done here for Refero. Panzerkampfwagen 5.
Our supply line just got cut off.
There we go. Panzerkampfwagen 5 gefechtsbereit.
Beat out of us. We got
And straight to the dodge truck here. Good hit, but the Panther up shoulder. Of course, this turret can better keep track of the after. There you go, trying to pop out. The crew gets crushed and run straight onto the Panther. Big loss there for TwistedTootsy. Great for the Panther crew. It's making it a bit amusing as well. My God, Jürgens, they're running straight onto its heads. Well, let's them do it. And the South they can lose was advancing assault units. We've got this shell moving in. Pillman machine being added to the Panther. Targeting almost good to go. Panther heading northwards.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
The man's going to use the machine to clear up the 5th Cavalry machine gun crew. The Panther's bleeding is actually quite ineffective as an infantry. You can see the crew's actually bleeding up pretty fast in the face of the Panzerkampfwagen machine gun gewehr, and in fact he's almost wiped the 5th Cavalry there on his own. There you go, good work with the Panther, 10 kills already. Targeting up from the centre here, showing they're opening up, shooting, bouncing off the Tiger's armour. Trying to destroy the 5th Cavalry was ignoring the platted assault gunners right next to it. Fritz? Yeah, maybe we should have the guys on the, outside. Nah, they can handle it themselves. The South showing there rolling through, Tiger moving in, pack for the flying cannon, noting by way, virtually free. But flanked here by the Sherman. There you go, finally helps the assault gunners. What else? Panther moving down here in the South. Tiger tank. Oh, smoke going off. He almost got the Sherman. Got the 7th machine going for the Tiger tank as well. Penetrating head. Pack crew dead. Another pension here on the Tiger tank. But the Sherman is already about to go down, leaving him just with 1 tank versus the Tiger. And you go, another Sherman brewed up. Like a kettle of tea. Forgot for too long. Blows up. Panther moving out there, close to veteran to 1. Sherman in a bit of trouble as the Panzerkampfwagen 5 is in hot pursuit, backed up by the Tiger tank. The muscle. And there you go, TwistedTootsy renders a loss here for the 3rd Armored Division. A brutal battle here against the 2nd Panzer Division. They resulted in a win there. Both players made a few mistakes here and there, usually because they got overconfident, but there's also, I think, a lot of great moves, some interesting base rates there for TwistedTootsy, some good use of mines by Refero, and of course some nice use of the assault grenadiers. I mean, heavy casualties there, I think, in both sides. Approaching slowly, veteran 500 kills. Very brutal stuff there with some very effective units. Reaction troops though ended up doing 1400% efficiency there due to all the bazookas they had. Tons of damage there. With the TwistedTootsy having a lot of Shermans out in the field as well. As for Refero, I mean, how did the assault grenadiers perform? They performed reasonably well. I mean, they actually had a high efficiency as well there for just 1 unit. So pretty well done there. The Pack 40 certainly also carried its part of the burden. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, share it with your friends, your family, your enemies, whatever. And of course, if you like what you do and wish to support, you can donate via the links in the video description. Whatever you can offer to support would do me a great deal of good. As you know, it does require food and to pay for money to pay for food and rent, so I can keep doing this. So if you like it, do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. This is Imperial signing off, and see you all tomorrow for a nice on the episode.